I'll tell you what, if you only own Nico Hines in this game, you're doing well. Owning anyone else pretty much, and you had a pretty tough game. So, Nico was 66. He didn't really play well himself, but the four offloads to go along with, the 114 meters gain, the field goal, one goal there, just gets him to 66, which is a pretty standard score for him and always a pretty safe captaincy option. So yeah, he didn't play great himself. He said so also in the post presser. But yeah, 66 in fantasy, we'll take it for sure. Cam McInnes got the big minutes, so 73 for him, 60 points overall. Really, really good in terms of getting a couple of tackle breaks, got the 2 turnover tackles and 56 in base. So he was great. And, with Finucane out again, let's see what happens, coming into this next week, as he could be that potential option coming into the next few weeks, along with Josh Jackson and those types of guys. So yeah, McInnes, great game for him in a game that was, a lower scoring one, back and forth for tackles. So, suited him really, really well. The core of 59, solid again. 48.7 average. He's actually made a fair bit of cash and played every game. So well done if you decided to pick up, Nakora at an early stage in the season. He got 20 in those attacking stats in the TBs and offloads there. Rudolph was solid, 55, really, really good. So yeah, it's just big tackles in this game, which, just got to be aware that it won't be this low scoring and this many tackles from the middle forwards for the Sharks every week. So Bradley had 51 tackles as well. Capewell had a really nice game. Obviously got some attacking stats in this one. Reynolds snuck up to a 50, even though he went off for that 6 minutes with that real bloody nose in that first half. Staggs did really well. He tackled well. Still had the 4 missed tackles, but overall did a decent job on Talakai, and he stood up their left edge. When he scored that try, he's so strong. He's awesome. Again, potential option over the next bunch of weeks. He hasn't made or lost any money yet, and still averaging 42. So pretty well, done pretty well to come back in the last few weeks to be averaging that, which is good. Farnworth is 46. Walters, this was a big one. So obviously came on for 6 minutes. On for 20. Scored okay in that first section. Came back on for 6 minutes when Reynolds left the game just before halftime, and then ended up playing 50 minutes and got big tackles in this one. And again, a game where it was lots of tackles in this one. 3 missed tackles for him, 81 meters run, which is really nice. A couple of offloads, a couple of tackle breaks and offloads. So really nice to halt any money losses. And unfortunately, our people squad traded him out for Kolar as well. So not ideal, but is what it is. On that one, Ramian had a decent game as well. So Payne Haas goes off with his AC joint, aggravated it again. So it sounds like from an old physio, this is just a pain management one, and obviously aggravating it caused a lot of pain. Played the 54 minutes. He was going to probably play 70 anyway, or 65. So this gets a little bit of an early mark, and they still hold on. So lucky for them that he didn't have to go through that extra pain to be able to get through this one. And of course, his name's Payne, and he's going through some pain. Terrible pun, Jamie. We'll work on it. Anyway, Kennedy, decent game for him with 40. So he's been averaging really low. So good to see him come back with a decent game of footy anyway, over 200 meters run. I think he was really good. Reece Kennedy's been an interesting one. He obviously started at 400k at the beginning of the year, and he picked up a 39 in 22 minutes. So really working hard in this one. Jensen getting 40 minutes, so more than Hetherington again. Crazy. But he had a good game. 167 meters in that time was special. Royce Hunt, so a few people thinking about him at 256. I just think you look at his minutes last week, he got 30 and they got 19 points. So, there's every chance that 37 won't happen next week with the middle forwards again, not getting way more tackles in this game than normal. So just be aware of that if you're looking to pick him up. Teague Wilton, it's probably time to move him on now. 622k, got the 64 minutes. Wade Graham is back and didn't get injured, thank God. But 64 minutes means it's time to move him on next week. All right, Talakai. So got the 30, yes, didn't score as well as we would have liked. Just think that if he got outside of Katoni, he should have scored that try, to be honest. He was, any other day of the week he scores that try and he got held up. So there's, 45 to 50 he would have got just in that. And then the Sharks just didn't play well. So for him to get 164 meters, 5 tackle breaks and an offload and a line break in a game where they were pretty poor and didn't give him early ball, didn't give him ball in space like he did in the weeks prior, I think he'll be fine. They've got 3 easier games coming up. Just obviously a lighter game here. So he does still make a fair bit of cash. He'll get up over 700k. But we need him to average, 55 to 60 over the next bunch of weeks, in those easier games. So probably a 45, 50 for a couple of them, and a 70 plus for the third one there. Up against those 3 easier teams for him to get over 800k and do a great job for anyone who picked him up. I did pick him up in my team this week, hoping to take a little bit of a risk, and obviously that didn't pay off this week, but that's okay. He'll come back, and the Sharks will be better. That was their worst performance of the season, and sometimes you can't predict those things. predict these things with teams like that. So yeah, when you're expecting them to do well, obviously I expected a closer game, but I expected them to win against the Broncos, and that didn't happen. So unfortunate there. Matty Moreland, I thought, had a pretty good game. Still only 23 in fantasy. So there you go. Tamai Martin as well with 22 in his 80 minutes. So a try assist for him and 3 line break assists. So solid there. The tackle breaks weren't there and the meters gained weren't there. So for him to get that in a winning side with attacking stats is a little bit alarming. But he obviously make a little bit of cash after that big one last week. But it kind of stops up in the next few weeks if he only averages 25 to 30. So just be aware of that. Palacia didn't have as good a game as he would have hoped. With a couple of 3 missed tackles and an error in that one. Corey Pakes, a few people were speaking about him being a potential option, and there was obviously plenty of risk being a low PPM type of player, and the chances of them swapping or Walters playing bigger minutes than Pakes, for example, and that happened this week, which was interesting. So it might chop and change each week. Walters might get 30 minutes next week, but we'll have to find out when that comes up. So that's that. Very annoying. And the Hetherington experiment is done, officially done. I traded him out this week. I hope he did too, and if he didn't, next week or so before he loses the cash that he's made, the limited cash that he's made. But 58 meters, the error, the 4 missed tackles, just not good enough. And just I don't think he's playing as good as last year. So the jump that we probably saw in preseason and expected going into the season from this type of player just hasn't happened, and that's unfortunate. For him, he's just getting less minutes because of it. So and not scoring well for us, unfortunately. So that's really it. Mulatalo with a 16. So this is going to happen when the Sharks play bad. He's been getting 50 plus scores, and Talakai got a 30 when Mulatalo got a 16. So you'll take that from Talakai compared to what Ronaldo ended up with, and that just shows what happens in a team that doesn't play too well. And then good to see Wade Graham return with his 23 minutes really is what we're looking at there. He was solid. So that's our Thursday night wrap up, guys. Subscribe, like if you are appreciating these videos, and thank you so much for being here, and we'll catch you in the next few videos.